Hey guys, some huge changes to this pet race out of nowhere. Yeah, a lot of people are pretty confused. Biggest changes are going to be the fact that they've added blessings. At the 100, 150, 200, and 300 meter mark, you're going to see almost like Mario Kart boxes, and everyone's going to get a little buff. It's random which one you get. Devil's Handshake is really broken. They've changed it from being something that spawns a trap to something that spawns you more of these new blessings. So it's really, really just not it's not balanced as long as this ability remains how it is. We can get into that anyway. Petting is a new feature where you get like a buff from your friends, or you can buff your friends, and it basically increases the strength of these new blessings. They took away all of the track modifiers, as far as I can tell. You can't like really make it shorter, or have more or less sand or water. It's just now things happen based on those actual things. Stat modifier abilities like the boosts and trade-offs have their own passive section and don't need to be actually held to be active. And Roll of Luck is gone, which means that we no longer have a dodge, which kind of sucks. The only dodge that we have is our intelligence and then the buff that we could randomly get. So, these are the blessings and track modifiers. They're all pretty straightforward. The only thing that I'd say really I would note is that the Supreme Stunner there um, doesn't have any sort of internal cooldown from what I can tell. So like I've been stun locked for like up to 3 seconds just because of the timing of people picking it up and happening to get it, which is pretty annoying. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward stuff. The abilities that they've changed again, so yeah, now it's you're gonna get little buffs depending on the state of the track, but you're not actually changing it yourself. Um, And yeah, so like it says, all purple racing skill effects have been modified to create more combos with other skills. This is all just from like the forums. You can find all of this information there, like in the actual game from the pet race. Yeah, so Devil's Handshake has a 100% chance to give you more blessings whenever you get max stamina, which has changed a lot of things. So if we start looking at the skill tier list, you can see Devil's Handshake is well and above everything else. You basically need this and you need to level it right now because nothing else is giving us blessings. None of the other abilities give us blessings, and that just makes this, unfortunately, a must run. A lot of the others haven't really changed so much. Better and Better is still a great ability, as is Power of Walking, Vitality Supplements. Um, a lot of these have been reworked as well, like Roll of Luck no longer gives dodge, but it's going to give you a stacking speed increase with the blessings that you pick up. Pairing Devil's Handshake and Roll of Luck is going to give you a lot of permanent speed right out the gate, especially if Roll of Luck is leveled up, or Devil's Handshake, or both, better. Um, After a Storm's been reworked, it now will give you stamina. Um, Only if you're under 50 stamina, and additionally gives you a permanent walking buff for the rest of the race, so long as you dodge, which again, we don't have a guaranteed dodge. So it's, you know, interesting. Getting your intelligence up abilities and obedience up abilities as you can is going to be important because they're no longer taking up a spot. It's actually kind of worthwhile to run them, especially intelligence, because for the 70th time, we don't have a dodge ability. Opportune movement kind of sucks now. I wouldn't run it if you're using Devil's Handshake, just because you won't reach 100 stamina and you won't proc Devil's Handshake, which makes it useless. Um, Friendliness trade-off is okay because friendliness is going to be our stamina consumption rates. We don't really care if that goes a little bit faster because that actually means that we get more Devil's Handshakes. I wouldn't really ever run a break the boundary build unless you're spending a ton of money because you need to level up everything a lot. And I mean, eye for an eye and spare no effort took some pretty big hits just because, yeah, they don't work with Devil's Handshake. And until, again, we have more abilities that give blessings, we're stuck with working around that. And then you have your conditional stuff, which, running press forward with Power of Walking will let it stack infinitely. Um, this endurance expert ability is a new one, but it, gives you an extra run count, um, which will increase better and better strength. So there's some one-offs you could take. Again, don't recommend running Break the Boundary. And then these are going to be the ones you just generally don't want to take unless you don't really have a choice. So Sandpit, Puddle, Long Time Coming, and any of the stat increases. Like the only ones that you want are the intelligence is like big, obedience is okay. The rest are alright, only grab them if you are not going to be sacrificing taking something else that you need or upgrading something else that you already have. And for the avoids, it's pretty straightforward. You don't really want to mess with the trade-offs too much. Taking away friendliness is fine, but everything else I wouldn't do. Victor's Encouragement is a terrible ability as a sprinting expert unless you're, broke the bank and are running Break the Boundary. And Force of Running, again, is also just not great. Never has been and has not been reworked in any meaningful way. Petting mechanic, every time you come in first, you're granted a petting chance, and you can pet your friend's pets. Gives them a boost and it lasts for 10 minutes. Refreshes each time you give them one, but will wear off after 10 minutes, regardless of whether they log in or not. It increases the effect of your next blessing by 20% and negates the next negative blessing completely. And depending on how many stacks, up to 3, you can have this happen up to 3 times per race. So just more reason why blessings, it's all become about blessings. Yeah, so you're going to want to communicate with your friends and alliance members, make sure that they actually have stamina before petting and that they're going to be on to use it. These are the best builds that I've seen so far. Like I play on 4 servers. I haven't spent money on any of them, and I'm doing quite well on all of them. Like over 10 petting chances just sitting idly on all of them. So I know I'm landing in first place a lot. It's a little dash down there somewhere that I just didn't fill in, but that's fine. But yeah, so basically you're gonna see the first thing is Devil's Handshake is really just what's needed. There's a little bit of mix up with, you can run better and better, or you can run, you know, I don't know. You're pretty much locked at this point into one build, just because there's nothing better that you can do than spam blessings. And I actually really hope that like, yeah, because like the old builds are there. I tried using them. They still work, but because of the random nature of the blessings, you can't guarantee that you're going to do well. The only way you can consistently do well in the current state of the event is to get Devil's Handshake, because it's the only thing that gives us blessings. Give us more blessings, Casey, or revert the event, basically, because you've, I don't know. This is my conclusion here. It is a new event, and it's basically just using abilities that we recognize, and it's not well balanced, and it's really cool. Like it's going in a really cool direction. I like it. I like the fact that we can help each other with the petting. I like that we can, actually build a little bit more with the stats because we don't have to carry them. There's some good things that have come of this, but the blessings need to be finely tuned, or we need to have more control over how they operate. And there needs to be just, yeah, more abilities to give them, because I shouldn't have to put the Devil's Handshake as like the only way to guarantee consistency. And there should be more ways to guarantee consistency. Like even in Masquerade, you have more ways to guarantee consistency. So yeah, or give us a dodge ability too. Even that would just be a huge, huge boon at this point, because yeah, we're kind of stuck. So hopefully this helps you guys for cross, and hopefully this is the one and only time you have to look at this video because they change it and it becomes less crazy. So thanks for watching. Peace.